Hello, everyone. Actually, we are really happy to share with you that we are hosting a pretty fun online event, which is called ABP .NET Conference, which will take place on May 10th. So it's almost 2 weeks from now. And I will discuss the importance of the software conferences very short, but I'm sure that Joseph is going to make it a bit more detailed. And I'm going to speak about the upcoming ABP conference for a short time. So as you know that the software conferences provide knowledge sharing and networking and the collaboration opportunities. ABP has hosted 13 community talks before and now presents a full-feature software conference with a very carefully selected valuable talks for ABP and .NET developers. And these talks have been selected from prestigious in-person conferences like NDC London and others. And the conference will cover a range of general software development and .NET topics with a special focus on ABP. In fact, 2 of talks will be directly related to ABP, providing attendees with a deeper understanding of this powerful development framework. So what's in it for you? So ABP Conference is a unique opportunity for developers to gain insight into latest trends and developments in the .NET world from industry experts and network and like-minded individuals, and discover new technologies and solutions. The conference is expected to attract hundreds of global professionals and experts from around the world. The main purpose, main ambition behind of the ABP conference is to certainly provide valuable insights and practical knowledge to attendees. And through keynote speech and various talks led by experts and industry leaders, you will have the chance to expand your understanding of the .NET framework and its ecosystem and taking the best practices from our speakers. And our goal is to inspire and motivate attendees from different angles to embrace their perspectives and further your skills and advance your careers in the .NET world. And regardless from your location, attendees can engage with others in the .NET ecosystem and stay up to date on the latest advancements and trends. Okay, so let me give you a brief explanation about the talk topics. And Tasvar from Microsoft, and he is going to introduce the Founders Hub and platform designed to support founders throughout the startup journey with mentorship, funding, and networking opportunities. Melissa will explain how to quickly build and deploy serverless full-stack .NET applications by using Azure Static Web Apps with Blazor and .NET. Covering the benefits and use cases and getting started with Blazor WebAssembly, other .NET API options, and automatic build and deployment to Azure from code repository. Nicholas will discuss the limitations of traditional microservices and proposes function as a service as a pragmatic solution to allow independent deployment of the business capabilities and frequent updating of business rules. Simon will discuss ways to cut down coding effort by using functional programming, link and generics, and meta programming to write easily maintainable code as few lines as possible. Daniel will share their experience contributing over 70 pull requests to Azure.NET SDK and teach performance optimization tricks by walking through the performance improvements made, including spotting and avoiding closure allocations and finding opportunities for memory pooling. Glideson will cover the best practices and hurdles involved in building and releasing .NET applications on production using the ABP framework, discussing how to set up a secure environment and scale the solution to serve millions of users. Sean will showcase the Blazor hybrid support in .NET MAUI, specifically the Blazor Web View Control, which allows Razor components to be rendered natively on mobile and desktop devices, and explains how to leverage the same web UI components across different platforms. Joseph will cover well-understood software architecture patterns to help developers keep their applications flexible, handle landscape changes, and ensure compatibility with other applications. He's already going to speak after me, and he's going to give maybe a bit more details about it. Cecil will explore how the Docker workflow building block can help developers create scalable and resilient workflows. He will show the core concepts, workflow authoritating experience, and orchestration patterns. Jimmy will provide tips and tricks and learnings from C# developers on how to convert existing project to Blazor and avoid pitfalls based on his experience running Blazor in production since 2019. Halil will discuss the challenges of developing microservices that depend on other microservices and services and introduce a solution to create a development environment integrated with Kubernetes, which will be demonstrated through a new tool called ABP Studio. Isaac will discuss the migration process from .NET Framework to the latest versions of .NET, including useful tools and potential gotchas to be aware of in order to take full advantage of the latest .NET innovations and improve developer productivity. And last but not least, Todd will explore how to make client-side web applications more observable by monitoring session analytics, user experience and errors, and APIs and data integrity directly from the real users. So by visiting ABP conference webpage, you can easily navigate through menus and find details about speakers, sessions, and sponsors. It's also possible to register to event by clicking the register button on top right. As you can see, multiple ticket purchasing is also possible. It's going to be free for students, just they have to fill the form from abb.io/ticket. Besides 20 tickets, we are going to raffle today. And also, you can help us to reach more developers by retweeting and liking our tweet right now. And you can see in the description box below. And by doing this, you will also have a chance to win a free ticket indeed if you are not going to win today. And you can find the link in the description box below. Thank you so much. Bige, it's yours.
Thank you so much for the thorough explanation. Right now, we are with Joseph to talk about the importance of these conferences. So the exciting part, we are with you.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. Thanks for also having me at the event. I really like events. I've been speaking.
The pleasure is ours.
No, it's mine, of course. I've been speaking at events for at least 2 weeks now, more so 20 some odd years or so. This event is actually exciting. I was looking at the content. I'm going to have to find a way to get up super early my time, because I think it starts at around 1 or 2 in the morning my time, because I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, in the United States. But there's some really good speakers there. Sean's Maui talk is incredible. Same thing with Isaac. His .NET talk I've seen a couple of times, and it's really good if you're looking at some old legacy applications, old, .NET Framework's not that old. But moving from .NET Framework to .NET Core, he gives you a lot of tips and tricks on things you can do to migrate that. And Daniel's talk seems super interesting to learn how he optimized the Azure SDK. I'm always looking for ways to make my apps better. To the side of me, actually, that side of me, I can't do it. That side, you see my contact info. I've been public speaking for a while. I have a whole bunch of talks and a whole bunch of blog posts, but we're not here really talking about me. It's more about talking about the benefits of conferences. Like I said, I've been speaking for about 20 years or so now. I started a user group about 18, 19 years ago when I moved from New York City to Arizona. And I started a user group for 2 reasons. One was I wanted networking. I wanted to be able to start working with other people or learning people in the area. I grew up in New York City. I had all my contacts and networks in New York City, and then I moved over. So I needed a new way to do it. And attending user groups and or starting my own really helped with that. It allowed me to be able to meet new people, find a job actually, and come up with a whole bunch of connections in the industry. That got me started in speaking at conferences, events locally, which helped me meet a lot of people, and then ultimately allowed me to start speaking internationally because some people were catching some of my talks and started allowing me to go to places all over the world, including I've been to India, I've been to Bulgaria, I've been to London, I'm going to Amsterdam and Norway this year, I've been to Prague, all based on going to community conferences and networking with other people. I know at times it's hard for a lot of software engineers to network. A lot of us are introverts and we don't like talking to other people. We'd rather be in a dark room with just our laptop, keyboard, typing away than talking to other people. But it's super helpful. The last 3 jobs I've had, I've gotten through conferences, just the network connections that I've made. I haven't had to apply for a job in 15 years almost, because I met people from talking and speaking and doing events like this. They could see that, you're outgoing, semi-knowledgeable based on, talks and stuff like that. So there's a lot of huge benefits, and it gets you to expand your palette. I think yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of introverts on the call. There are, I believe it was Tariq that had a slide about some of the benefits. Yes, the education is important. Yes, learning and growing is important. But like the real benefit of conferences outside of the learning is the networking and being able to mingle with other people and share your experiences, having that contact. Nowadays, when I have an issue, I don't necessarily need to Google or Bing, to find a solution. I know some of the people that actually are really familiar with it. And because I have those relationships now, I can reach out and say, hey, I'm really stumped on this. Is this something you can help me with? And that's really been hugely beneficial in my life. It also has helped over time to be able to hire people. So now, because I have a wide range of contacts with people and I do a lot of public speaking, I got a lot of people that I know that I can bring on board with me when I'm hiring at my organization or whoever I happen to be working with. I think that's a lot of the benefits. So could open up if there's any questions or anything anyone has. It's my contact information on screen right now: Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, my website, which is jjg.me/aboutjjg. It'll take you, blog posts, everything. My YouTube channel, if you want to subscribe and see some of my talks, some of my streaming videos I've done over the years.
I actually see someone subscribe to your YouTube channel.
Nice.
And yeah, and someone else is following you at LinkedIn. So you've got a quite audience in here. Hopefully it will increase because we have a lot of people coming after the talk to watch it after this talk, because it's not for everyone, as you know, from waking up really early for those international stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. So I know for a fact that you have another meeting that starts right about now. So if you don't have any more information to share with us, we would just don't want to take much of your time. We're going to meet with you for the conference itself, after all.
Thanks for having me. Hopefully I'll be back again soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
Thank you, Joe.
It was a pleasure.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Joseph.
Have a great one. So you can follow Joseph everywhere. And right now, we have 30 minutes left on the clock with a lot of questions again. And you can ask much of your questions if you have any. I saw a lot of questions after we mentioned about ABP Studio. If you would like to
Okay,
talk about
I
it.
will. Yeah, I will answer this question, and also I will answer the Dapper question. Let me share my screen.
I can pick one question about Dapper, Ali, if you are going to.
Yeah, it's easy actually. Yeah, if you visit the abp.io/Dapper website, you will see the Dapper integration documentation. It's very detailed documentation that explains how to integrate Dapper with your ABP solutions. We have actually mentioned the Dapper integration in another ABP Community Talk. Maybe you can find in previous YouTube videos. So it explains the integration with API client proxies, event bus, distributed log, and much more. So you can check the documentation. In the ABP documentation, you can just search Dapper. You can easily find.
Okay, here's the question. Can Entity Framework Core and Dapper can be used together in the same ABP project?
Yeah, this Dapper is not that Dapper. Yeah, it sounds similar. If you go to community.abp.io and find my posts for using Dapper with the ABP framework, actually this post exactly explains that situation, and we definitely suggest to use Dapper with Entity Framework combined. And this article also explains when to use Dapper features, when to use Entity Framework. So you can check this article. It will answer your questions.
Bige, any personal commercial licenses today?
Yeah, I would like to talk about that. We're not going to give away ABP commercial personal license today, but we do give away 20 ABP conference tickets. So if you would just go to the description box, I'm just going to slightly remove myself up. Sorry, Tarek. In the description box of this video below, you can see I have put the Twitter raffle for ABP Conference to increase your chances. And then you can just go ahead and fill the form for abp.io/ticket to have a chance at winning ABP Conference ticket yourself. We will contact with you after doing the raffle. We're not going to do the raffle at this stage for this time. Well, someone already have a ticket. So if you already have that, because we didn't want to have that risk, that's why we have created that abp.io/ticket for you. So if you could just fill that form. Today is only about ABP Conference, you guys. I'm so sorry. But if you're the winner, we might have a little sneak peek. ABP commercial licenses, not personal, but licenses, throughout the event, giveaways for the attendees. Maybe. You'll see.
Okay.
And
I'm going to pick another question. With Blazor server, sorry. Can I get this question again? Okay. With Blazor server, there is a way to show localized error message generating using data annotations. I'm going to show you how you can use localizations in a Razor page. Okay. Here you can provide a localizer, and also this is how you localize. I think it's enough for this question. Checking. Okay, Tarek, it's yours. I have seen some people displaying ABP Consulting Expert. Is there a list of available certified ABP Consulting Expert or a documentation process for the certification?
Yeah, that's a good question. Honestly, we have list in private. It's not public. But of course, any of you, if you are really talented about ABP and if you want to be an ABP expert, we have an ABP expert program for that. And if you contact me by sending an email about this to marketing@wellsoft.com, I'm gonna arrange 30 minutes of 1v1, and I can give you details about it.
Okay, next question. This one.
Thank you.
Necmettin Ürkmez. Do you plan to provide cascading lookup support in ABP Suite? I think you mean cascading combo boxes, which is being populated.
Probably.
Via the previous one. No plan for this one. Yeah, I know it's one of the most using feature, but not everyone has a requirement like this. Let me pick the next one. I think, Halil, you have talked about this. We have adopted Dapper and we are interested.
Yeah, I answered this question, Alper. I just showed the Dapper documentation.
About authority delegation that comes with this version, did you implement this using Microsoft Identity Framework?
Yeah, we have implemented with Identity Framework. However, it's not that easy. Identity Framework is not doing the work. Actually, we have created a different schema for that and created a custom implementation. As I understand, Hassan wants to know about the implementation details. I don't know, maybe we can request from Malimik, which he has implemented it. Maybe he can write an article about that.
Okay, I saw many questions about ABP Studio.
Okay.
Do you want to add anything?
Let me share my screen. I will talk about a little bit. Okay.
Yay.
This is the first time we are using the ABP Studio keyword in a talk. Actually, we have been working more than 1 year to create this project, and it will be available in the probably in the third quarter of this year. However, there will be a preview in the ABP conference in my talk. So in the MVP, not MVC, but MVP, the first features will be like that. I will explain one by one. The first feature of ABP Studio will be creating a new solution and modules with the ABP framework. That's already possible with ABP CLI and ABP Suite. However, we will make it much easier and we will provide more options. The second major feature will be exploring solution and modules. We see that it would be very good to explore the solution in a high-level manner, like displaying the aggregate rules, domain services, controllers, UI pages in the assemblies and in the modules, and see its details without showing all the source code. So it will be related to that. I will keep this short thing. Analyzing and documenting is related to actually module exploring. It will automatically analyze your module and applications, find all permission definitions, features, a lot of ABP features, and that it will display these features in the UI and also can create basic documentation for these modules. For example, which database tables used by these modules and so on. There are a lot of more. Module installation and uninstallation will be easier than current. Solution building, I mean, creating a new module in your solution, adding reference to another module, creating dependencies between modules and packages will be easier with solution building features. Microservice building is similar, like creating microservices, adding gateways, new services and making them communication and so on. One of the most major features will be running the solution in your local environment, especially, you know, if you have maybe tens or hundreds of microservices, it will be very hard to get all up and running in your local environment to make a development. So actually my talk is related to this topic. You can read my abstraction of my talk here. I want to read it here. You know, microservice architecture is a quite common approach to build highly scalable solutions with a large development team. While there are standard tools like Kubernetes to deploy, run, and scale your microservices, the development side is not as mature as that. It's not easy to develop, run, and test a single microservice. That depends on other microservices and services. Running a copy of the entire system in the developer's machine is impractical currently. Microsoft has released a project type for that, but is far from the sufficient. So I will also demonstrate why it is not sufficient and how ABP Studio replaces it. So in this talk, mainly I will introduce an efficient way of creating a development environment that's well integrated to Kubernetes. In this way, you can just run the microservices you are building and let the Kubernetes run all your dependencies in your local machine or a remote server. Assume that all the solution components running in Kubernetes in a remote development service, then you just run your the service you are working on. Like you are working on an order management service, microservice. You just run this microservice and it's completely integrated into the remote Kubernetes environment. I mean, all the requests to your order microservice is coming to your local machine automatically, and all the requests to other microservices and integration services, infrastructure services like SQL Server, RabbitMQ, and so on. All the requests is automatically going through the Kubernetes cluster using a VPN tunnel. So I will explain how it is designed and how it works with the ABP Studio. That's all from me about ABP Studio now. It's currently running here, but I'm not showing the UI.
It's a surprise.
Definitely, it's not a name. Definitely, it's not a new name of ABP Suite.
Yeah, it's definitely a new tool.
So basically, it will make developers' life.
Desktop application.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, next question.
Also,
David Hurtado, maybe Bigge, you can answer this question. The ABP talks will be recorded and be accessed later.
yes, they will be available watch on demand after the conference, but only for the attendees, since we try to keep it as low as the platform gives us. So the lowest price we could put, but still it is a paid event, so it will be available to watch on demand for the attendees. So if you would like to watch on demand, it will be available on community platform.
It's mean that even if you don't have enough time to watch, or maybe because of the time zone issues, so when you get your tickets, you can watch it later.
Yeah, I saw Roslan saying, looks like I'm going to have to take a day off from work to watch it. Well, you don't. It will be available.
Okay, do you have any open source CMS kit? We have open source CMS kit module, a part of ABP framework module. This is not a very big one, but it's sufficient, enough for a basic CMS features. NS is asking, are you going to add more systems for React Native, like automatically adapting what we do in ABP to React Native, or making it easier? By the way, I'm proud of you. Do you want to add anything to this, Ali? There is a React Native mobile application in our ABP templates. It's a basic startup application.
Yeah, to
There
be
are
honest,
no.
we are not working on the React Native part. As you know, there is a Microsoft's MyUI. So Microsoft has a .NET solution for the same problem. So we are more focused on that area. And or React Native knowledge is also limited.
Maxim Reality, will you continue to develop the .NET MAU template?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. And thanks, Mohammed. Necmettin is asking, do you plan? Okay, I have asked this question. Complain.
Yeah. Actually, we are very focused. And we saw that in the latest version, 7.1, there was less complaints on Angular. And in the 7.2, we believe there will be much less problems because as we test, we don't see problems with Angular UI, and we see that we don't get too many problems on the support website for the Angular now. So we can say that it's much more mature in the latest versions.
Okay, Evaristo Cuesta, have you considered using Mediator in application project instead of inheriting from application services or CRUD service?
Yeah, it's definitely possible to use Mediator. However, we haven't provided any article or any example yet. Yeah, it's on our backlog to create an article to show how it's used, how it can be used. However, you just try, it will work.
Roger Hopkins, can the microservice Kubernetes configuration be translated to be deployed in production Kubernetes like Azure?
For specific to Azure, we probably don't provide pre-built configuration. However, Kubernetes configuration is pretty standard. The only difference is on some configurations. As we tried to run Kubernetes in our local environment, then migrated to Kubernetes. For example, we have migrated the ABP IO website to Azure Kubernetes. Actually, we haven't done much changes in the Kubernetes configuration. Mostly in the deployment side is different and continuous integration side is different. For other projects, like we have created the eShop in ABP and so on, it's not much difference. Maybe we provide directly reusable solution for Azure because it's most used environment for our customers. Yeah, we will think about that.
Okay, Mohammed Rashid, can you give some attention to React template created recently? It's extremely fast. This is not a template from our team. It's community contribution.
Yeah, the extremely fast thing in the user interface is the change. Because in the last year, we were getting requests too many for Vue.js, for example. We don't hear much in this year. UI part is extremely fastly changing in software world, unfortunately. So we will not, we haven't any plan to work on React currently, unfortunately. However, there are some open source projects, and also we have a partner working on React UI. So we will probably announce this project in the next month. They are working hard to provide a React solution to ABP.
Okay. Alex is asking about Blazor Wasm startup time. Are there any improvements?
Yeah, as I see, in every release, we work on that and we make improvements. I'm not actively working on Blazor UI for a while. However, as I last remember, it's much faster than before. Also, this is a question also should go to Microsoft. Most of the slowness of Blazor is related to the Blazor itself.
Okay, David Branchley. CMS for Blazor server. Admin is there, but not user side.
Yeah. When we work on CMS kit, we thought that MVC UI is proper for public websites because it's well crowded by search engines and it's easy to implement SEO and other stuff. So it's currently the suggested UI for CMS. For the Blazor server, we haven't actually started this work. It's on our backlog. However, we are not sure actually to implement that. It's because when we create more than one UI for the same system, it will be hard for us to maintain it. So, yeah, I'm not sure.
When we implement a new feature, we need to implement it on different UI frameworks, and it's a time-consuming thing, and also you need to fix the bugs, and you need to have a separate team for this UI framework. It needs some extra resources.
Actually, there is a good news here because in our ABP UI design, Blazor server and MVC UI can be used in the same process, in the same application. That means when CMS page is open, then it automatically switches to MVC. And when any Blazor server page is requested, and it switches to Blazor server, they can be combined. Actually, we are already combining it in our templates, as I know. I'm not sure. I didn't check in the last days. However, it can be combinable.
An interesting question. Does anyone here created a game using ABP? Okay, and if there is a graphical requirement, so there is no point to use a web application framework to build a game. But you can use ABP to manage your users or sell items or manage back office site. So I think we are almost done with the questions. Let me check if I missed anything.
Yeah, there's a question about ABP Studio will be available on the only in commercial. The question. And
the answer is yes.
Unfortunately, the answer is yes.
Okay, guys. So we can.
I just want to add two things. Well, the first thing is we will contact with you after a while, so you still have your time until the end of tomorrow.
How they will fill the form? Did you share with the YouTube description?
Yes, they can find it in the description box below, and I also included it in the stuff that just flows away in the bottom. Yeah, it's ABP.io/ticket. They can reach there from that website. And also, I would like Tarek to mention a little bit about the networking part that Joseph clearly underlined with bold fonts. So we have a fun feature from the community platform that we're going to use to live stream for ABP Conference. If you can just give a sneak preview about that.
Yeah, okay.
That would be perfect.
Sure. Honestly, I have prepared a very primitive cookbook about how to use ABP Conference platform, actually the streaming platform, which is supplied by community.com. So I believe that my screen is on the show, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. If you buy your tickets, or if you have the free tickets, and then you click on this watch button, and you can go into Key Live, which is the name of the platform by community.com, and you're gonna see on the top there are some tracks, and yeah, we are going to have 2 tracks, 2 parallel sessions. In addition to that, and we are going to have rooms. In the room side, also sponsors, if they want, they can wait you to have to reply your questions about their product, and it's gonna be something like this, and people can join by their name, and you don't have to register to community.com to be able to go in the rooms, but the experience is going to be very similar to Zoom meetings. And in addition to that, we have 90 seconds area. This 90 seconds area, if you have to register community.com first, and that's why if you have free tickets, and then so you can use here after registering the community.com. And the purpose of this 90 seconds is the people randomly selected, and just 2 of them are speaking 90 seconds each other and getting know each other very, very short time, and then it's automatically changing back. So it's very like a fast track. Of course, you can see the schedules and the speakers. And last but not least, also we are going to have a photo booth. Of course, this photo booth can be downloaded and shared by Twitter and LinkedIn. Of course, our frame is not going to be like this. We are going to put our own design, but just I wanted to share. After you share it, for example, Twitter, there is gonna be a post, something like that, gonna appear in your Twitter. Just an example. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thank you. By the way, I wanted to answer to Ruslan's question. It will be possible to ask questions during the conference, but to be able to ask the questions, you need to actually be able to attend. So you might have to take that day off after all.
Honestly, most probably the speakers are going to give you some chances for 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 5, after their speech during the breaks. And most probably they can reply, even if you cannot catch them, and you can use their rooms if they are going to be there.
Just let me answer a question from Necmettin. Can ABP Suite generate code for such a business code? Authority entity may have many books. The relationship is not end-to-end, but one-to-end. Is here, and he would like to get a short answer to his question. Yes. I answered the last question.
For this one, we try to take extra care of the question and answer session because we have a lot of questions, as I said in the beginning. But for the first time, maybe we would like to end at the time that we plan to end. Therefore, if you have any other questions, you are always welcome to ask them from our live chat, or you can just send an email to us from marketing@valosoft.com as usual. Please just fill the form, or you can just retweet the tweet that we're gonna do a raffle for, or you can just basically go to the conference.conf.abp.io to purchase your conference ticket. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. We'll see you in the conference and then in the next community talks. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.